All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear my voice loud and clear. My name is Kavita and I'm from Kelab Minda Malaysia. So I believe we have a few of our friends all over from Singapore. We have from Australia. Welcome aboard to our enrichment session where we conduct monthly sessions talk for free to actually add value to our members, our community, and our friends and families. All right. So today is going to be a very special talk by Dr. Anand. So before I introduce him and bring him on board, I would like to actually introduce to everyone who are we and what do Club Minda Malaysia do. Let me just get my mouse to work. Okay, all right. And who are we? We are actually a team of very passionate people who believe in positivity and happiness, and we are working our way towards enhancing the community with a lot of positive technology, positive tools, and also a lot of teachings in terms of how to be more human. So our mission is to help people embrace humanity, and in a way, we like to term it as we would love to actually slow down a lot of our processes, our daily experiences in life, because sometimes the world moves very, very fast. And here we are in Club Minda Malaysia, looking at opportunities and techniques and practices to help to slow us down to embrace our humanity. And we are championing the Reset app, which will be shared later on at the end of Dr. Anand's session. So now I would like to just show a few of the things that we have been conducting. So in Club Minda Malaysia, one of the special session that we actually conduct is every month we host an enrichment session called Zapper Enrichment Session, where we have special speakers from all backgrounds. It can be medical, it can be business, it can be just business owner, it can be anyone to come aboard to share their experience and hopefully to inspire more people with the work that they do and also to add value in their lives. So with that, I would like us to all welcome our guest speaker for today, Dr. Anand, who is a anesthetist and also a certified hypnotherapist. So without further ado, let me welcome Dr. Anand. And you may share your slide, Doctor.
Hello, thanks, Kavita. Okay, hello everyone. How are you? How are you guys? Okay, my camera quality is a bit poor, so I'm going to straight away put up my slides. Just hang on for a moment. Okay, Kavita, can see that? Okay, good. All right, so are we good to go, Kenna?
Yes, we can proceed.
Okay, sure. So thanks to everyone, those who are here. Thank you for your time. So I'm going to make this time profitable. I know your investment of this 1 hour. I'm going to make it very valuable, profitable for you. Um, okay, so before we jump into this whole topic, I'm just going to briefly ask one simple question, or maybe you guys believe that there's some truth to this. So what do you think? Or anyone
Cannot
probably
decide, Doctor.
cannot decide what?
Cannot decide, is it truth or is it or
Um,
so on the fence, on the fence.
on the fence, on the fence. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so to answer that question is quite simple actually. So we'll go through this end of the slide. So at the end of this presentation, you tell me whether it's pseudoscience or say real science. So I'm here not to convince you, but rather to show you certain evidences or certain proof that there is certain truth to it. So you decide. And if you decide there is truth to it, what can you do about it? All right. So that's a fair request, right? So let's jump into what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so let's play a small game. Okay, I need everyone to participate in this. To really appreciate this, the meaning of this game, everyone needs to do this. Would that be okay? Very simple. You don't have to do anything much. Just from the place where you're sitting, you can just do this. Huh? So imagine for a moment that your hands are your thoughts. Okay? All right. So I want you to hold your hands together, palms open, as if they are like pages of an open book. Right. Then slowly and steadily raise your hands up towards your face. Keep going until they have covered your eyes. Now, take a few seconds to look at the world around you, whatever is in front of you, through that gaps between your fingers, and notice how this affects the view in front of you. Now, imagine what would it be like going around all day with your hands covering your eyes in this manner. Okay, now you can put down your hands, right? Exactly, it'll be difficult. So how much would you miss out on your experience of a daily life? So imagine how much it would limit you. How would it reduce your ability to respond to the world around you? So this is what I call fusion. So we become so caught up in our thoughts that we lose contact with many aspects of our here and now experience. And someone wrote here blurred vision. So which is true. Blinding is actually very good experience. I mean to for that experiment. And our thoughts actually have a huge impact over influence over what we do in our daily life. And it's significantly reduced if the mind covers our eyes. Now, once again, okay, let's do this again. Huh? Now, once again, cover your eyes with your hands, just like how you did just now. But this time, slowly lower them from your face, very, very slow. And as your hands slowly descend beneath your eyes, notice how much easier it is to connect with the world around you. So this is what we call diffusion. As you lower your hands, your thoughts do not disappear. The view in front of you does not disappear at all, but getting some separation allows you to engage more fully and flexibly, freeing you to choose to act in ways that are important to you. Okay, that makes sense? So in energy system, so our whole human body is an energy system. Diffusion is the art of letting mental energy move without blockages. The key here is maintaining flow so thoughts don't become stagnant energy, freeing you to act with certain wisdom rather than habit. So this will be the key for manifesting your thoughts. So the idea here is energy system and how to let it flow without blocking the mental energy. And in order to understand this, we need to understand where is this energy system coming from. So my proposal, my theory in this presentation is the energy system coming from a place called the subconscious mind. So I'm going to give you certain simple facts on where the subconscious mind is and how it affects our energy system. Trying my best to make you decide whether it's true or not lah. Huh? Right. So, what drives your emotions and habit? The subconscious mind is the part of the brain that processes information automatically, storing memories, habits, beliefs, and emotions that influence our behaviors and perception. How it operates? It operates in the background silently, handling tasks like breathing, heartbeat, bodily function, processing input, storing memories. Like for example, right now, at this now, when you're listening to this presentation, who's controlling your breath? Who's controlling your heartbeat? So you can say your body, but which part of your body? So there is a part of your body which controls the way you breathe. For example, when you see um, um, a scary animal chasing you, so you don't just stand still, right? When you see a scary animal chasing you, your heartbeat beats fast, you start breathing fast. So why is that happening? Now, where is the information coming from? Who controls that part? So there's something called autonomic nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system is coming from is being contributed by the a part of brain where we call subconscious mind. Of course, when you cut open the brain, there is no anatomical position in the brain itself where we can say this is a subconscious mind. But it works in the background. So mind is a form of energy. All right. So key facts about subconscious mind, key features, it records and stores every memory, experiences, and belief since birth. The first day the mind operates, it records information. For example, if you now think about, when you go to mall, for example, and suddenly you smell certain fragrance, certain pleasant fragrance, you may have this feeling. This feels familiar, like a deja vu kind of feeling. So how many of you have had that experience? Just put up your hand. The deja vu kind of experience, like sounds familiar, feels familiar, but you just can't put it where you have felt it. Yeah, very common, right? So where is it coming from? So that comes from the subconscious mind itself. So our subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than the conscious mind. Conscious mind is very important. Conscious mind helps us to operate in our daily life. That's very important, our thinking process. But our subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful. It also acts as a protective function, which operates throughout the day, 24/7, to preserve the body and maintain safety. Even during sleep, it works. It resists changes, um, and one of the main protective function of the subconscious mind is to uphold homeostasis. Homeostasis is simply means familiar pattern. So in medical science, homeostasis means familiar pattern. Subconscious mind also has a concept called confirmation bias, where it reinforces existing beliefs by filtering reality for supporting evidence. For example, if a scarcity mindset means you always think about, I don't have enough of this, I don't have enough of that. Um, the scarcity mindset will only focus on lack, even if we have abundance. Habit driven and automatic. So subconscious mind learns through repetition, builds automatic responses for efficiency. Um, Basically, it helps us to live life on autopilot mode, unless we consciously rewire. So we human beings have this option to consciously rewire the subconscious mind. And if we choose not to consciously rewire, of course, we can live on autopilot, and it will do its best to maintain its function. But again, limited. Remember the hand maneuver exercise, so it limits our perception as compared to consciously taking charge. Subconscious mind is also a non-verbal segment. It communicates via imaginary symbols and emotions, and it's why visualization works here. For subconscious mind, words does not work. So we need visualization, pictures. Um, if you see movie makers utilize the power of subconscious mind very well. So they use creativity, they use imagination, they get you glued to the chair in the movie because they use emotions to to gain your attention. So emotion is coming from the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind cannot process negative. For example, if you say I am not sick, the word sick, the subconscious mind cannot say not, which is negative. So it says I'm sick. So it just take I am sick. So it accepts the word sick. So the only way to affirm positively, it should be in a positive tone. I am healthy. Energy words. So subconscious mind works by it doesn't take words, but it goes by emotions lah. So when I say I'm not sick, so the not um it's not being processed, negative part lah. Okay. So how does it work? How subconscious work? Subconscious work by repetition. Consistent action or habit rewrites its program. So for example, if you remember, as when we were in school, we're doing maths. We may not be able to understand the mathematical formulas, but when we keep doing again and again the exercises, eventually we get hang of all of it, right? So how does it happen? Repetition. So which part of the brain are we training here? Subconscious mind. So the more we train the subconscious mind, consistent habit and action, it rewrites its program and forms a habit pattern. Positive language, frame thoughts and affirmation without negative. Visualization. So subconscious mind uses imaginary to bypass logical resistance. Our logical mind works by words, intellect. whereas subconscious mind works on imaginary. So what I'm trying to say, the bottom line here is the subconscious mind is a powerful habit-driven autopilot. So if you choose to master it through persistence and mindful reprogramming, that's your advantage. It becomes your advantage. And if you choose to ignore it, then it's your choice in a day. All right. So in the coming slides, let's see how we can choose to program the subconscious mind. All right. So this may seem complex. So in my therapy session, so I follow this simple guiding principle. So we call it psychological flexibility. So all human being. So I want you to imagine this middle part ACT. This middle part where it's written inflexibility. Imagine this is your emotion or thought process. For example, let's say you say, I procrastinate. So when we have an emotion here called I procrastinate, it is pressurized by something called um, something called present. Something called past or future. So when our mind keeps going to the past and keeps going to the future, this past constant fluctuation between past and future creates pressure to the habit and cramps it down in our mind. And then when there's lack of direction, then when there's inaction being stuck, when we are not able to identify ourselves, there's cognitive fusion and avoidance. So all these factors will squeeze our mind and trap this habit in formation within ourselves. So in order to break an habit, we need to focus on present, values, committed action, self, diffusion, acceptance. So there are a few segments here we need to go through, then we can break off the value. So the reason I'm sharing this is in order to break a habit or emotion, we need to know what are the strategies and where this strategy acts. In order to break an habit that you have, or in order to manifest what you want or work with your mind, we need to know strategies and we need to know where to act. So this is what we call psychological flexibility. It reduces struggle with painful emotion, with acceptance, helps us diffuse from unhelpful thoughts, gives certain clarity to our values, and mindful and compassion. So why I'm sharing this again, this is important because it helps us to navigate our mind. All right. Okay. So in order to navigate our mind, we have a concept called emotional hygiene. So this matters. So if your hands are dirty, what do? We wash our hands, right? If our organs are dirty, for example, we have certain chemicals in our body, like liver stores certain um, um, excretes chemicals, body function, and we need to detox our liver, for example. So we do certain processes, medication or certain nutrition habits. When it comes to our mind, how do we wash our mind? For example, when we have certain emotions, how do we take care of our mind? No, not many people talk about this, and it's not openly discussed. Everyone talks about washing our hands, how important it is to wash hands so the germs don't get stuck there, but no one talks about washing our mind. Of course, we can't physically wash the mind just like we do for our hands. Can you imagine that? That would be quite scary, right? But there is a way where we can take care of our mindset, right? Why is this important? This is important because the subconscious mind drives our emotion, habits, and energy. Neglecting emotional hygiene leads to blockages and imbalances. So another way to convince you that the subconscious mind works. Okay, we all drive to work, right? So when you drive to work from your house to your office, sometimes you get stuck in traffic. Many times you get stuck in traffic, and you're driving, yet you're not consciously aware of your driving. You may be having a conversation over the phone or listening to music, listening to certain podcasts on the radio, and by the time you know it, you have over you have taken turns, you have followed the rules, and you reach your office safely, but you are not aware of the exact steps you were taking, and you don't plan to accelerate or decelerate, brake here, brake there, turn here, there. It just happens automatically. Who decides that? That is the part of that subconscious mind. Okay, the subconscious mind and decision making, it processes information faster than you actually think. For example, let's say you're about to cross a road and you hear a screeching sound. What do? do. You don't cross the road, right? Immediately you pull yourself out and you keep yourself in a safe distance and you look around for danger. You don't consciously do that, do you? It happens automatically. So automatic response, where is it coming from? Subconscious mind. The subconscious mind makes decision. It processes information faster than the conscious mind. It leads to a concept called gut feelings, intuitive insights. How many of you have not felt gut feelings? Or would I say, how many of you have felt gut feelings? That's better, right? So many of us have felt lah. So research suggests that up to 95% of decisions and behaviors are driven by the subconscious mind. To prove this, of course, you can find certain studies. Studies have proved that decision making shows that people often make choices based on subconscious biases or instincts before consciously rationalizing them. For example, emotional buying. Sometimes we want to buy things, we buy according to feelings rather than actually thinking about it, right? Gut feelings. The subconscious mind processes information, like I say, faster than the subconscious mind. And the proof to this is brain imaging studies shows that subconscious mind can detect patterns and make predictions before the conscious mind is aware of that. So when I say proof, the brain imaging studies, there's something called fMRI, functional MRI scans of the brain. So this has been studied in neuroscience, how the subconscious mind works. All right. The subconscious mind and energy. Subconscious mind stores energy, which can manifest as stress, anxiety, or even physical symptoms if not addressed. So, proof to this, research on there's a field, something called psychosomatic disorders, shows how unresolved emotional energy can lead to physical health issues. For example, how many of you have felt this? I think this is relatable. You have a long day at home, at work, sorry, stressful day, and you come back home uh, with a pile of files that you need to do for the night. And looking at the files, you just feel drained and tired or stressed. How many of you have felt that? Everyone feels it, right? So if you think about it, okay, you just bring work back home. You're tired physically, yes. Brain emotionally tired. There's stress in the mind. So it manifests, the energy in the mind is manifested as in the form of stress or anxiety. Um, and it drains us. So if it drains us, that means there must be a flow of energy, right? Because something is being drained, either drained in or drained out. If we can experience a flow out of energy, we feel drained out. So if we feel that, therefore, there must be a flow, a flux of changes of energy. Correct? So far, anyone agree to that flux concept? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the subconscious mind, um, emotion memory storage. The subconscious mind stores emotional memories even if they are not consciously recalled. These memories can influence current emotions and reactions. For example, childhood trauma can affect present behavior without conscious awareness. I'm not sure how many of you can relate to this, but in my practice, I've seen a lot of, for example, someone who has fear in public speaking or stage fright. No? So that trauma, that fear may have arisen because of being embarrassed as a child on the stage. So on a stage, he may been giving a presentation, and during the presentation, he made some mistakes, and people make fun of it. So the trauma is stored deep down in his subconscious mind, and it manifests in the form of emotions and behavior later on. Dreams and emotional processing during REM sleep. The subconscious mind processes and consolidate emotional experience, helping us to release certain stored of emotions. So another proof of subconscious mind is dreams. So how many of you do experience dreams? Most of us do experience dreams, right? And dreams are spontaneous actually. Dreams are spontaneous, they're not planned. No one plans, say, okay, tonight I'm going to dream this. So can you imagine if we can plan our dreams? Um, so we don't plan dreams, it just happens spontaneously. How does it happen? So there's a role of subconscious mind there. EEG studies have shown that increased activity in the limbic system. So limbic system is a part of the brain that controls emotions and memory. The limbic system, so in the EEG studies, when they've showed increased activity in the emotional centers and limbic system during sleep, REM sleep, during deep sleep, there's some activity in the EEG pattern. So this shows the subconscious mind exists even when we go to sleep. So subconscious mind stores emotional energy, which can manifest as stress, anxiety, leading to negative physical health. So, practical implication, what does it mean for us? So, reprogramming the subconscious mind, techniques like affirmation, positive affirmation, visualization, hypnosis, or even meditation can help to reprogram the subconscious mind to align with conscious goals. So, to proof for this, studies on neuroplasticity shows that repeated positive thoughts and behaviors can rewire the brain over time. Can anyone tell me what neuroplasticity means? Does anyone know what neuroplasticity is? Neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to adapt to positive changes or negative changes. So it's the adaptation quality of the brain cells, which is governed by electricity and chemical changes. So the fact that neuroscience has proved that the brain, there is a concept called neuroplasticity within the brain, and shows that repeated positive thoughts and behavior can rewire brain over time, meaning that reprogramming the subconscious mind is possible. So healing emotional wounds, addressing subconscious emotional blockages can lead to improved mental and physical well-being. So proof to this is therapy techniques. In neuroscience, they have studied therapy techniques and have realized that by specifically targeting subconscious mind, we can promote healing by resolving certain traumas. Okay, reprogramming the subconscious mind. Hypnosis can help to reprogram the subconscious mind by replacing negative beliefs or habits with positive ones. Remember this neuroplasticity I told you just now? Repeated hypnotic suggestions can create new neural pathways, reinforcing desired beliefs or behaviors. Emotional healing, hypnosis can address emotional blockages systems stored in the subconscious mind, promoting healing. So if you notice, I keep using the word hypnosis. Hypnosis is a vehicle to the subconscious mind. Hypnosis simply means focusing your thought or your energy into the subconscious mind. So hypnosis is just a method to get into the subconscious mind. Okay. So again, um, so we have a framework called SET. SET means serene, excitement, tranquility. So we have these three energy systems within our body. So far, who agrees with me that we as human beings are a constant flow of energy inside us? How many of us believe that? How many of you do believe that we are a being of energy? Or who does not believe that we are not? We are just a material thing, not even an energy. Who says we are energy? Can put up your hands. Who says we are energy? Okay, who says we are not energy? We are just matter. We are solid organic matter. No one believes that we are solid organic matter. Okay. So I see many people say energy, energy, energy. All right. So anyway, good. So we are energy beings. So in our system, in our bodily function, imagine we have three sets of energy called serene, excitement, tranquility. So when you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh, you feel serene. And then somewhere in the midday, you feel excited to do your work. And then somewhere in the afternoon, you feel drained, tired. Somewhere in the evening, just before you sleep, you feel peaceful, relaxed. So we are constantly fluctuating at energy points. Okay, we are not static energy beings. So we don't vibrate at one particular energy pattern. Agree to that? So it means meaning that our energy flux system is always up and down at constant flow. Um, so since this is who we are, energy system, then we should capitalize on that. We should flow with nature. We should use this to operate our system. So to prove, to let me show you. So some people say that no, I don't believe that I'm an energy system. I'm a matter. I'm a solid organ. So let's look into that. All right. So if everything is energy, so quantum physics is a kind of is a science under physics. Uh, Quantum, the study quantum reveals that at the subatomic level, everything is made up of energy, fields, and vibration. So atoms, which make up our body, are 99.99% empty space with tiny particles vibrating at specific frequency. I did not say this. Quantum physics says this. So you can Google and find out what's quantum physics. So quantum physics says that um, our molecules, our atoms, 99.99% empty space. So E equals to mc square is famous Einstein formula, shows that matter and energy are interchangeable. Our body is essentially a condensed energy. Human energy fields. So, for example, EEG, ECG. EEG is the one that we measure the brain activity. ECG is the one that we measure heart activity. It measures electrical activity of the brain, heart, and this proves that human body generates measurable energy field. So, when we put certain electrodes on the head itself to measure energy, the EEG pattern, the electrical pattern of the brain, the monitors are not directly connected to the brain. It's connected to the scalp, and it picks up energy from the mind. That means there is some energy being transmitted by the brain. Same goes to the heart. Is transmitted to this device, and the device picks it up and sends to the machine and get a reading. So meaning that you are not a static entity. You are a living, breathing, vibrating bundle of energy. All right. So that's important. So we need to establish this. If you are not convinced this, in order to move forward into reprogramming your subconscious mind, you need to be really convinced that you are an entity of energy, living, breathing, vibrating bundle of energy. Okay. So practical steps to understand your subconscious mind. First, you need to identify subconscious patterns. How to do this? There are many ways to identify subconscious patterns. So, of course, you can do journaling, mindfulness, you can do I'm good. Okay. So, many people close their eyes and sit down and they say, okay, I'm positive, I'm this, I'm that. So straight away they jump to stage 3, and they find it becomes a mechanical process. It does not feel, it feels nice, but it does not feel it works, or it's a bit of doubtful there. So in order for step 3 to work very well, we need to have step 1, step 2, then to jump to step 3. So it's a step, it's a process lah. So in order to get access to a subconscious mind, it needs to have, in order to consciously control a subconscious mind, you need to have steps 1, 2, 3. Simple, but it takes time, practice. Okay. So how do you manifest with subconscious energy? So what is this ritual that I said just now? The step 1, 2, 3. Remember this one? So imagine if these steps 1, 2, 3 are a form of ritual. Okay, so if it is ritual activity, so you should engage this with daily practices, because it energetically anchors your goals into the familiar zone, as if it were now. It's happening now. So it recodes your reality on a level outside of your everyday awareness. By doing this method, by sitting down and anchoring your energy, what happens is you are doing something unusual. Your mind says this is different. So your mind starts to, in a way, align with you. And when you try to positively affirm your subconscious mind, the step 3, by doing step 1, step 2, when the energy centers are balanced and you go to step 3, the reality within your mind changes. So it's a process in where you come into your senses, tapping out of your analytical mind and tapping into your emotional energy. It's similar to visualization. You act as if you have already achieved your goals. So how do you do that? So you close your eyes and drop into your body, bringing your awareness to the feeling of being connected to the goal as if it were now. So running a movie that you have stepped into virtually, plugged in by all your 5 senses. That makes sense? So The last part that I said, you close your eyes, drop into your body, bringing your awareness to the feeling of being connected to the goal as if it were now, needs to happen here. Step 3. In order to go step 3, step 1, step 2, step 3. So many people straight away jump to step 3. So that's where it becomes mechanical or it feels it's not working. So step 1 needs to be done, step 2 needs to be done, step 3 needs to be done in order to manifest. All right. So how do you program your subconscious mind? Daily action and repetition. Commit to consistent habits to rewire neural pathways. Repetition imprints new behaviors into the subconscious mind. For example, let's say you have a bad habit. A bad habit is assume someone who smokes lah, and that person wants to stop smoking. So the person may have been smoking for the past 20 years on a daily basis. So the person is very good at smoking. The person can close his or her eyes and smoke confidently. The person knows how to hold a cigarette. Just, with eyes closed, he knows how to hold it. How? Why? Because the person has committed consistently to the habit of smoking. So in order to change the habit, which has developed over 20 years, does it make sense that it can be a fast process? Who believes that you can rewire your mind very fast? Who believes that they can rewire their mind very fast? Um, so again, the idea is you need to commit to consistent practice. Repetition imprints new behaviors into the subconscious mind. All right, brain waves. We need to access subconscious mind by understanding brain wave states. So the important brain waves that we need to tap into is called alpha and theta brain waves. So in science, alpha vibrates between 7 to 14 hertz. Theta vibrates between 4 to 7 hertz. So alpha brainwave, meaning that light meditation, deep relaxation, is a gateway to the subconscious mind. How do you get to alpha? Imagine coming back home after a long tiring day and you just sit on the sofa, no one around you, no one disturbing you, you just on the TV. And the moment you sit on the sofa, you take a deep breath and you let go, right? So that's alpha, means very relaxed. You're aware of your environment, you're aware of your thoughts, but for some reason, for that brief moment, you feel quiet and at peace. So that's alpha. So that brain wave is excellent to enhance learning and memory, and it's a gateway to your subconscious mind. So theta is deep subconscious state for healing, beliefs, shifts, and intuition. So in hypnotherapy session that I do, we take people into theta brainwave. So it's very deep to uncover certain deep-seated memories and how to change certain belief system at deep level. So for personal development that you want to do at home, you don't have to reach theta. As long as you can alpha. So alpha requires you to deep relaxation. All you need to do is just sit down quietly by yourself. You can reach alpha very fast. Yeah. So theta is the most, of course, theta is the most receptive frequency reprogramming. If you can consciously go to theta, it's very good. When we are in theta, we can use affirmation, guided meditation, or visualization to input new beliefs. So so now I just want you to imagine you're in alpha or theta state. So when you're there, you speak affirmation. You list out one affirmation per day. Or maybe you can listen to pre-recorded hypnosis audios or visualize desired outcomes while you're in that alpha or theta state. Simple. So remember just now I told you the three steps. Step 1, identify subconscious mind. Okay. Step 1 is you need to identify subconscious pattern. Step 1 is meaning that you need to go into that alpha state or theta state. Step 2, once you're there, you calm your energy centers. And step 3, you reprogram your affirmations. Data best in relaxed meditative state. Another keyword here is consistency and right brain wave state gives you lasting changes. So two things, consistency, right brain wave state. All right. So again, simple to rewire your mind, tuning the brainwave to the right frequency. And then the goal here is to make an action shift from conscious to unconscious, meaning that we operate in this way by default without having to consciously think about it. New habits form new neural networks, form new ways of being, um, for creation. So now, I just want you to think about this, okay? What would you give um, energy to? Uh, um, sorry, I lost my track there. Sorry. Okay, so now I want you to ask yourself, if you can sit down, imagine there's an energy center within you, and you can balance this energy form, how is that going to affect your visualization? What do you think? Okay, so with that, I in my slides. Um, so those who want to ask questions, you can ask now, or you can email me, or you can contact me on my website. So of course, this subject is big, huge. There's not much time I have here to cover within 1 hour. So I hope I have touched certain key points to trigger certain thoughts, certain curiosity within you. So the message that I want to deliver here is subconscious mind, energy system, and practice. So if you can take these three things and explore deeper what it means to you, and if you have certain doubts, certain questions, certain perceptions you want to discuss about it, feel free to share now, or maybe you can email me also. All right. Any questions?
Yes, doctor, we have a few questions in our chat box. So before we go to Q&A, we would like to actually thank doctor. I was like, oh wow, it is done. So we have time for Q&A, and there are a lot of questions in our chat box right now. So thank you, doctor, for your time, and I'm sure it was very insightful, because by reading the interactions in the chat box, a lot of them have questions, they have interacted with your questions and everything. So let's begin with our question. I hope you guys can
What
hear
que-
me, just in case. Oh, just now I froze. Okay, sorry. That was okay. All right. So, the number one question that we have for Dr. Anand is, let me go down. Okay. This is from Jennifer. I have a feeling of gut feeling. She has a gut feeling, but sometimes she's confused. So, how to know, is it the true feeling, or is it just our mind making up that feeling?
Very good question. All right. Very good question. So gut feeling versus conscious thinking. Okay, I'm audible, huh? Can you hear? Okay, good. So gut feeling versus mind thinking. Okay. So you have to see what task are we working on here. So if you are about to cross a road, a busy highway, would you want to trust your gut feeling, or would you want to trust your mind? What do you think? The mind, huh? So when you are in a busy road crossing, you want to use your senses, your awareness, your full intellect to cross the road. You want to make sure you're safe, right? If you're on a busy road and the gut feeling says jump now, of course you do not want to listen to a gut feeling. Gut feeling is not good, is not as advisable to use in your daily task. Daily processing needs your conscious intellect willpower. That's your frontal lobe. That's your conscious mind. Gut feeling only works very well. It comes to things that's related to emotion, things that related to creative thinking processes, certain belief system. So in other words, when you are in a sympathetic drive, when your body is in a sympathetic tone, when your body is wired to this chemical called adrenal gland system, the mind and the brain works wonderfully well. That's the primary function of the brain in the sympathetic tone. But when it comes to the mind, subconscious mind, the gut feeling, that works on a parasympathetic healing. So gut, if you think about it, gut feeling that you experience, that you say is now, never came when you were in a stress mode. It came to you when you are calm, when you're relaxed, when you're thinking, when you're contemplating. So that's what we call healing mode. So when you're in the healing mode, the gut feeling mode is in a parasympathetic tone. you're relaxed, you're not in a threat situation. And at that point you want to make a decision, it is in regards to a certain creative thinking process that you want to do. So if a thinking process, creative process is coming from the gut feeling, maybe you want to follow that. But if it is if it's an important decision to make, whether should I sit for the exam today, yes or no. So it's important decision making. You do not want to rely just on your gut feeling. You want to rely on your intellect, your creative mind, your thinking process. So that's important. So gut feeling can be tricky. You need to know when to use it. Okay, hope that answers the question.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Doctor. We hope that answers the question from Jennifer. All right, and the next question we have is, Doctor, is the gut feeling from the subconscious mind? This is from Sangeeta.
Is the gut feeling the subconscious mind? I do not believe so. The gut feeling is a byproduct of the conscious mind. So if you imagine the subconscious mind is a form of energy. So the mind is a form of energy, right? So that we have to establish. Brain is organic. Brain, you can see where it is. The mind is not organic. The mind is a material of the brain itself. So it's chemical reaction, neurochemical reaction, we call it. So it's a form of energy within the brain itself. So if you think the mind is a form of energy, so you can expand the energy, you can contract the energy. So if you contract the energy, it is within the shell, what we call brain. If you expand it, it slightly extends out of you. Some people call it aura, some people call it energy beings. Depends on how big the energy is. So in science, just imagine it is within your mind. So simple. So if it is within your mind, energy flows, energy vibrates, energy is not stable, it's not static. So it has certain fluctuation. And this fluctuation, so imagine sun. So sun is not just a ball of light, it has plasma coming out of it. So plasma is the one that gives the ray, the energy. So this plasma is that gut feeling. It gives out certain what do you say? Manifestation of the sun itself, the plasma. So gut feeling is a manifestation of the subconscious mind itself. So subconscious mind is very big, very deep, very powerful. Gut feeling is a small signal that the subconscious mind is operating. All right. Any other thing?
All right, thank you, Doctor. There is a few more questions, so let me just scan through. Okay, this is from Shalini. This is with regards to the sharing that doctor asked, how long does it take for us to rewire our subconscious mind? So Shalini said that, I reckon each one of us have our own unique frequency. How do we know that we have tuned into a frequency that works for our highest good?
Okay, two questions. Number one is, how long does it take? So in neuroscience, it takes for 21 days to 90 days. So there's no specific matrix, specific point. You need to do 30 days. You need to do 31 days. No. So then normally they says 21 days to 90 days. Of course, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes shorter, because everyone is a unique being. So every human being has different brain or mind makeup system. We are unique being individually. So every individual, some people takes time, so we have to give that time. So there's no proper method to calculate how long does it take. It just takes repetition and not giving up with yourself. It's difficult. Yes, it's difficult to say that you cannot put a time frame. But the moment you commit to personal change, personal development, and the moment you commit to this subconscious mind, the changes happens very fast. The moment the energy system inside you works, it starts to flow. You may not get that desired results very fast, but you will notice that you're moving towards the desired result. So you may not get that outcome immediately, but you know that you're moving in a trajectory that leads you to that outcome. So that gives you a sense that, okay, I'm on the right track. As you go on the right track, you may deviate your course, but as you keep practicing harnessing your subconscious mind, rewiring, reprogramming, what happens is you realign, course correction will happen. And if you're connected to your subconscious mind, you'll be aware of these changes, you'll be aware of this course correction. That gives you a sense of belief that you're on the right track. Okay, your second question was, sorry, I forgot the second question. Something about,
How do we know that we have tuned into a frequency that works for our highest good?
okay, it's a very, very difficult question, very personal question. You need to find your own frequency. You need to sit down and align your energy system. Uh, um, See, for example, someone who is depressed, someone who is so angry, someone is overflowing with emotions, it is not easy to tune in the energy system. You need to clear the load first. Once you clear the existing load, then you start. So imagine a cup of water, muddy water. You need to give time for the mud to settle down, then you see the clarity of the water. So same goes to the mind. If the mind is full of these emotions, the emotions needs to calm down first. Then you can see the clarity of this mind. The moment you can sense the clarity of the mind, you start to sense certain frequencies within you, because we all are human being of frequency energies. So every cell, every body has, we all have cells, right? So we have trillions of cells. Each cell has an energy system. Each cell has something called ATP. ATP is produced by mitochondria. So mitochondria is the battery of each cell. So each cell, when it secretes certain ATP, certain molecules of ATP, it secretes vibration and energy, and it has its own signature. So every thought process has a accumulation of cells, accumulation of energy. It has an accumulation of energy system, accumulation of frequency. So this frequency is very unique to you. In order to know you're tapping into the right frequency, you need to feel that that this makes sense to me. It has to be a very non-intellectual observation within yourself. So as you familiarize with the subconscious processes, the step one, step two, uh, being conscious, subconscious, and then practicing the energy system and the manifestation, the moment you go into step two, you start to realize the energy system within you, not from your mind, not from your intellect, but from a very emotional part of you that says, this is me. It's very difficult for me to explain this because it's very abstract. You need to experience this. So in my hypnotherapy session, I make the clients to feel that within themselves, which you can do at home by yourself. It takes time, but it needs commitment from you. So remember, it's not I said the subconscious mind is autopilot. If you don't practice this, it will take over you and it will function very well to the best ability it can, but it will not manifest its full potential. So going back to your question, how do you know that you're on the right frequency? It's a very personal journey. You need to know yourself. But once you are there, once you feel that frequency, it will be a confirmation, not from the conscious mind, not from the intellect. It's a confirmation comes from your feelings that you just know that this feels right. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's a bit
Interesting,
difficult.
doctor. That answer actually answered another two more of the questions that we had. All right, so they say what one stone, two birds, or something like that. Okay, all right. So now we have a very long question. This is from Jane. I tend to have intuitive feelings about people. However, I observe them over time to see if my intuition is right. And there are times information come out later and it confirms my intuitive feelings about that person. How do I know if I didn't just accept certain information as confirmation bias?
All right, this is very difficult to decide. So in order to know whether you're not accepting as confirmation bias. So confirmation bias, if I'm right, if I'm understanding you right, so you're talking about there's a conflict between your conscious mind, your thinking process, and your evaluation and your sense of that person, right? Okay, correct. So how do you discern these two things? Uh, it's a very personal journey. You need to sit down, you need to contemplate, not just thinking, but you need to write it down. You need to see the pattern. See, when you just do in your mind, for this particular question, when you to discern the processes, whether this is not confirmation bias, if you just do it in your mind, what happens is your mind will feed confirmation bias to make sure you are on the track that you want to be. So the mind is very elusive here. So in order to decide right and left, you need to put it down in a piece of paper. So we're talking about a person. So the person now is Your intuition says the person is right. Information comes out later. So you need to draw two things: information now versus information later. And you need to sit down. Number one, energy system within yourself control. You tap into your subconscious mind, and then allow the intuitive, the gut feelings to flow without judgment, without critical evaluation. So the moment you judge a feeling, a thought, the confirmation bias comes in. So ignore the judgment, ignore the evaluation, ignore the prediction, ignore the whatever comes from the mind, ignore. So if you're okay, let's say you're judging whether the person A is good or bad, all right, and the thought comes out, I do not know. So you have to accept that word, I do not know. So if you do it at a mind level, what happens is the moment you say I do not know, the mind will gives evidence to go with that flow. I do not know. I do not know because he's elusive, because he's not sharing information. So the mind starts another ball game called prediction, evaluation, and so on. So that becomes, it takes you away from that intuitive feelings lah. So to do this properly, you need to write it down lah. Make sense, Jane? A bit complex lah the question, huh?
All right, yes, Jane says yes, it makes sense. So well done, Doctor. Thank you so much for your sharing. We have from Dr. Niti, beautiful share, Doctor, observing and writing down our self-talks works really, really well. Thank you very much. Jane said that she's very complex. We all are complex creature.
We all are complex. I think we are complex. So I think rule number one, we need to acknowledge we are complex.
Indeed.
See, many times we identify ourselves as I, just this limited being, this one person. But in this one person, we have trillions of cells. Each cell is an individual complex. Each cell is a TNB power station by itself. Each cell is an autonomous living organism. It secretes ATP. It has its own memory cells. It creates its own system. So we are complex being lah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Doctor. And thank you everyone for the amazing questions. I love seeing there is interaction for in the chat box, which gets Doctor excited. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your time. We really appreciate you taking 1 hour of your hectic schedule to be here with us. And I'm sure that for all our friends here, if you would love to contact Doctor, do feel free to check out his social media handles. He's on Instagram, he's on TikTok, he's also on YouTube and also on Facebook. And also he has his own website called hypnotherapyservicesmalaysia.com, or you can even reach out to him through oh, am I frozen? Am I frozen now? Wait. Can you hear me now? Oh no. Oh, now can. Okay, sorry. There was an interruption in my Wi-Fi. Sorry. Okay, so for those who would like to get in touch with Doctor, do feel free to check out his social media. I'm repeating the things that I said just now. Okay, let me just see how do I can I have a feeling everyone can see my slide? Can, okay. So as our closing, we would like to thank everyone for being here for this 1 hour session where we had Dr. Anand as our guest speaker to share his expertise and passion. So for all those who would like to get in touch with Dr. Anand, he has shared his email and also his social media handles. So now, last but not least, if you would love to actually join us every single month for a special session, not only virtually but physically, do feel free to scan this QR code and become a member of our Club Minda Malaysia, because we would like to see how we can grow our family to help to empower and impact many more lives through sessions like this, talks about positivity and happiness. So I will leave the slide here for this next 5 minutes. So there will be an email to thank everyone after the session. It will be sent out tomorrow together with Dr. Anand's social media handles, where you can get an update on any of your questions if you would like to ask him. So with that, thank you, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you guys next month.
Thanks, Kavita.
Welcome, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr.